this module covers. So it's just a list with links to the rooms. Okay. Yeah, so we'll have to like compare with the notes, make sure we have everything, that kind of thing. So I'm going to go switch pants and we can listen to this while I do that.
In this room, after we define passive reconnaissance and active reconnaissance, we focus on essential tools related to passive reconnaissance. We will learn 3 command line tools. HOI to query HOI servers. ANS lookup to query DNS servers. DIG to query DNS servers. We use HOI to query HOI records, while we use ANS lookup and DIG to query DNS database records. These are all publicly available records and hence do not alert the target. We will also learn the usage of 2 online services. DNS Dumpster. Shodan.io. These 2 online services allow us to collect information about our target without directly connecting to it. Prerequisites: this room requires basic networking knowledge along with basic familiarity with the command line. The modules Network Fundamentals and Linux Fundamentals provide the required knowledge if necessary. Important notice: please note that if you are not subscribed, the attack box won't have internet access, so you will need to use the VPN to complete the questions that require internet access. Answer the questions below. This room does not use a target virtual machine, VM, to demonstrate the discussed topics. Instead, we will query public HOI servers and DNS servers for domains owned by TryHackMe. Start the attack box and make sure it is ready. You will use the attack box to answer the questions in later tasks, especially tasks 3 and 4.
So that's more summer clothes. Tight jeans are not like unsweaty. So yeah. I'm kind of thinking, should I like have the TTS read this? It seems like very basic start info, right?
This room
Repeating
expects
again.
the user to have a working knowledge of computer networks.
That's
If you like to
annoying.
brush up on this topic, you are encouraged to study the Network Fundamentals module first. Before the dawn of computer systems and networks, in the art of war, Sun Tzu
Reading
taught,
my notes.
if you know the enemy and know yourself, your victory will not stand in doubt. If you are playing the role of an attacker, you need to gather information about your target systems. If you are playing the role of a defender, you need to know what your adversary will discover about your systems and networks. Reconnaissance, Recon, can be defined as a preliminary survey to gather information about a target. It is the first step in the unified kill chain to gain an initial foothold on a system. We divide reconnaissance into passive reconnaissance, active reconnaissance. In passive reconnaissance, you rely on publicly available knowledge. It is the knowledge that you can access from publicly available resources without directly engaging with the target. Think of it like you are looking at target territory from afar without stepping foot on that territory. Passive reconnaissance activities include many activities, for instance, looking up DNS records of a domain from a public DNS server, checking job ads related to the target website, reading news articles about the target company. Active reconnaissance, on the other hand, cannot be achieved so discreetly. It requires direct engagement with the target. Think of it like you check the locks on the doors and windows, among other potential entry points. Examples of active reconnaissance activities include connecting to one of the company servers such as HTTP, FTP, and SMTP. Calling the company in an attempt to get information, social engineering. Entering company premises pretending to be a repairman. Considering the invasive nature of active reconnaissance, one can quickly get into legal trouble unless one obtains proper legal authorization.
So, was there anything for the notes here? Uh, so let's see if we have that in this list. No, I don't think so. Maybe.
HOI is a request and response protocol that follows the RFC 3912 specification. A HOI server listens on TCP port 43 for incoming requests. The domain registrar is responsible for maintaining the HOI records for the domain names it is leasing.
Funny.
The HOI server replies with various information related to the domain requested. Of particular interest, we can learn registrar, via which registrar was the domain name registered. Contact info of registrant, name, organization, address, phone, among other things.
Fixerbot
Unless made
says,
hidden via a privacy service.
New follower I see
Creation,
null.
update,
Less than 3.
and expiration dates. When was the domain name first registered? When was it last updated? And when does it need to be renewed? Name server, which server to ask to resolve the domain name. To get this information, we need to use a HOI client or an online service. Many online services provide HOI information, however, it is generally faster and more convenient to use your local HOI client. Using the attack box, or your local Linux machine, such as Parrot or Kali, you can easily access your HOI client on the terminal. The syntax is HOI domain_name, where domain_name is the domain about which you are trying to get more information. Consider the following example executing HOI-tryhackme.com.
So I don't think we had who is here in the list. Eller HOI som that the TDS call it. Well, I usually make several here. That's why it's so empty here, because it's all in one file. Let's make it its own note, because we want all the things here, right? Notes they're good. So I'm just quickly reading it again. So ticket info. So why not do it? And as you might know, I'm not very secretive about who I am, so we could do it on my domain. Not that you couldn't do it yourself. Who is recognized. Let's start with TryHackMe then. Oh my goodness, that's not little information. Maybe this is more fun than mine, I guess. So this is just general information. can't do that, right? I have to select it all. So, as an example, so let's do the help too. So who is option object? I'm just pasting it, so it looks a bit prettier also in Obsidian. Let's do, where am I typing? And they're definitely not the right place. So I just did this. Redacted for privacy. All of it. So I'm not friends with InLead anymore, but whatever. So none of my information is available, only my money draining provider there. Okay. So let's see what it says more. So it has an example there. We see plenty of information. We will inspect them in order of display. First, we notice redirect who is name sheep calm. Is maintaining the who is record for this domain. Can see the creation date. Could we do that on mine? Cause I had a .se one, but I added the com with the 42 instead of, I had fix it now.se. So this was created the 21st. So I need to put something there too. Um, Next with the information of the registrant. I'm sorry, I'm not reading it all aloud. I think it's kind of obvious, right? When? Okay, so they want us to give them the information.
Sullivan GFX says,
Hi, how's going?
Hi, well, it's good, I guess. We're going through the learning rooms. It's kind of nice to have all the information. So now I'm actually at rooms I have not done before, even if I've done a similar one, I think. So we're going to see if we can find information. So the creation date, they asked. When was it registered? Is this it then? Oh. I forgot where I was. Oh. They wanted me to remove the dashes. So, what's a register? I have to go up all the way again. I'm just counting letters. I guess it's this bit. Yes. What company is Troy using for name servers? Yeah, so here. There. So we got that information from that, but we couldn't see as much information on me. We could see the date though and the company. We could see that there too, and also the name server one, of course. It would be kind of hard to have that secret, right? We know what we did in the previous task. Find the IP address of the domain name using NSLookup. I would server name server lookup. You need to use the command NSLookup domain name, for example. So how's it going with you, Solo and GFX? I did switch screens, right? So
Good, I'm working while watching the streaming background, ha ha ha.
yeah, I do that a lot too. It's nice to have something to listen to, even if you can look at it all the time. So, option switch query type. Alright, I think I've never looked at the actual help for NSLookup. Where am I typing? Okay, that's invalid option 2. Okay. Kids knocking. Hej gubben! Ska du lägga?
Rainmanful says. Me too. Hardly working. No calls yet 55 minutes. Any second now.
Jag vet vad du menar, Lava. Jag tror att problemet är från... måste jobba lite till. Oh my, I'm so sorry. That's when you have kids, you know. They're priority one, and he really wanted me to stay there for the rest of the day. I said I have to work a bit more. My God, it's bright light in here, really. So yeah, right. That was not the best screen to stop on, right? Options contain. So maybe, since we didn't find a help, maybe we should actually save these things to the notes.
Sullivan GFX says,
Hey, here's one tip, curl, web link.
Sheet. And let's look up. Yeah. I have other stuff too. I'm just thinking that I'll try and organize it more. So I'll copy this and let's look up information too. Why did I put it in the same one? I don't know. Thanks. Well, let's see. So I have my other notes organized in a different way. And NS lookup, you know. I've never used options, I guess, because I've never needed. So here I have the domain name in this one. There's also options. So let's add the options like this. Well, I guess we should have actually like this, right? And oh, there was a table. Alright, yeah, so it's a normal DNS ones. So it's obvious, but let it be there, because my notes are kinda trying to be obvious, trying to be too obvious even. Very kinda odd. Why use two spaces and make it look like a million in there? So Why? Oh, I switched to the VM. Yeah, and MX, did I have that in the list? Yeah. So I'm sorry if I'm kinda reading it quickly, not loud. TTS takes so much time, and I feel like I knew this 1995, so just wanna scan if there's something new. Yeah, dig. Let's fix the dig notes too. So I think we have it in here. Or maybe it's somewhere else. I don't know where all my notes are. So here I have used, and this one I used dig. But I don't have any notes on dig. Here on DNS I have dig. So I should have added a space to the search, right? Whatever. So lots of this should actually be here then. Like all of it. So why is that's why I want the note to be called the command, because it's much easier to find it again. If it's called DNS, you know. Alright, so I have host notes here, and I had notes here with example output. So let's add T. It has T for type. And we can do this. And dig. Did we have dig in this one? And here we have the other NSLOOKUP bit. Yeah, and if you give it the commands this way, and this is more like a comment at the top, though I think this might have been a Windows example, so let it be. So it's at least it's collected in one place. So actual about the DNS in Linux, that should be in like Linux information. Oh well, we're doing useful stuff here. Cause all of this was called DNS Recon. So we have two similar ones now. Well, this one will be gone soon. So let's move this one to this one. And there. And do we have still more than one thing here? So I think I didn't think these were, you know, like worth their own. But now they get their own, so it's easier to find. So dig doesn't have much, no example. This one I'm thinking, now when it can drag, can I do it? Yeah, down. So a bit further, we should have Linux. So now it got a DNS for where Linux information is in. DNS information in Linux. So this one will simply be renamed. And we have more lines here now. And now this is the actual command. The actual command. Passive subdomain finder. Traceroute is just traceroute. This is just the name, you know. So this one is this is the one we just were making. It's kind of empty here because we were just adding it. So I feel like we did a bit of sorting usefulness here too at the same time. But also it has dig information. Did it have anything that we didn't have? So TNS, and we can do, yeah, I remember this. Service DNS server. Main name type. Quick conversion between all the ends login. Dig shows a dig. Return more information such as TTL. Yeah, by default. If you want a query, you can execute dig. Give me MX. It's kind of fun that you put this in, right? So we always save the letters, right? Yeah, and here we see the most recently used one. So okay, so it wants specifically for us to check the TXT ones. So I'm actually going to look at my notes, and I can see that the option is to do T, and then my example is NS, but I knew it would be TXT now because they told us to. So there. So this I've never heard of. What is DNS? DNS dumpster. DNS lookup tool, such as NSLookup and dig, cannot find subdomains on their own. Okay, the domain you're inspecting might include a different subdomain that can't reveal much information about the target. For instance, a tryhackme.com has a subdomains wiki, webmail. You want to learn more about these two? They can hold control information about your target. There's a possibility that one of these subdomains has been set up and is not updated regularly. Like a proper regular updates usually leads to vulnerable services. But how can we know that such subdomains exist? Well, if I click here and copy it, will minimize everything again. Can we cover using multiple search engines to compile a list of publicly known subdomains? One search engine won't be enough. Moreover, we should expect to go through at least tens of results to find interesting data. After all, you are looking for subdomains that are not explicitly advertised, and hence it's not necessary to make it to the first page of search results. Another approach to discover such subdomains would be to rely on word parsing queries to find which subdomains have DNS records. To avoid such time-consuming search, one can use an online service that offers detailed answers to DNS queries, such as DNS Dumpster. So let's just at once make a note here, so we don't have to have the whole thing there. Free domain research tool that can discover hosts related to a domain. So that's tiny text. So time passes quickly, though we've done a few learning pages today. Let's I think I need
To avoid such a time-consuming search, one can use an online service that offers detailed answers to DNS queries, such as DNS Dumpster. If we search DNS Dumpster for tryhackme.com, we will discover the subdomain blog.tryhackme.com, which a typical DNS query cannot provide. In addition, DNS Dumpster will return the collected DNS information in easy-to-read tables and a graph. DNS Dumpster will also provide any collected information about listening servers. We will search for tryhackme.com on DNS Dumpster to give you a glimpse of the expected output. Among the results, we got a list of DNS servers for the domain we are looking up. DNS Dumpster also resolved the domain names to IP addresses and even tried to geolocate them. We can also see the MX records. DNS Dumpster resolved all 5 mail exchange servers to their respective IP addresses and provided more information about the owner and location. Finally, we can see text records. Practically a single query was enough to retrieve all this information.
I just think the graphs are so unreadable compared to text. Why did I do that twice? Maybe we should finish this one then, I guess. So
when you are tasked to run a penetration test against specific targets, as part of the passive reconnaissance phase, a service like Shotten.io can be helpful to learn various pieces of information about the client's network, without actively connecting to it. Furthermore, on the defensive side, you can use different services from Shotten.io to learn about connected and exposed devices belonging to your organization. Shotten.io tries to connect to every device reachable online to build a search engine of connected things, in contrast with a search engine for web pages. Once it gets a response, it collects all the information related to the service and saves it in the database to make it searchable. Consider the saved record of one of treehack.com servers.
I might have heard it like once. Should we Google? Like this? Oh, wasp, okay. Mapping attack services. Open source information. Oh, yeah. I recognize that. So, thanks. This is interesting. Let's actually make a note called this. So I'll have to look at that sometime. Searching for track.com on Shotten.io will display. Did we need to close? And we can close this one too. Oh, so there's a special room on it. I'm starting to be tired, and at 18 my mom comes and we're going to switch your tires. It's summer. I need to do mine too. But I need a bit of time with the kids before then, so I'm thinking let's just finish this a bit quickly. Because it's not worth pausing when we're almost finished. Come on. I was going to click that one. So, what is the second country in the world in terms of number of publicly available? Oh my. Oh my goodness. Search query fundamentals. Let's add this to the okay. I thought I already had added the main page. Well, I'm curious why this comes up with Troy Acme. I see marketing opportunities. What was that beeping? That's a question. So, I guess this is something I should learn more about too. Lots in that list though. So, I guess we search for a path. And I don't expect I'll have to learn all about how to query it. No, it's actually in the same place. And there my ear warns me about low battery, meaning we'll survive this, I guess. So that's interesting, and the questions are good. Simple searches to see basic things what it can do. And it's actually interesting that they're not the same port, you know? That's interesting. 5001. Okay, type please. So I always usually see what ends. Oh yeah, search for, yeah. So in this room we focus on reconnaissance. In particular, we covered command line tools, hoist, lookup, dig. We also discuss 2 public available services, DNS dumps and shorten IO. The power of such tools is that you can collect information about your target system without directly connecting to them. Moreover, the thorough information you may find using such tools may be massive once you master search options and get used to reading the results. And there's room on more on DNS too. I'm not sure if I have done it even. Yeah, it's done already. So who is and let's look up MX. Yeah, and here we say we can have this as an example too, right? To make it clear everything. And this is like the actual question that we did to get the reply. And the dig example. Oops. Dig. We don't have a lot of examples there, so let's add another one. Can we do this? No. So we can see the difference of the syntax between NSLOOKUP and dig. So this is well, I guess it's okay.